YouTube, my name is Jess and I am asexual. Due to an overwhelming amount of support and response I got from my last 2 TikToks about asexuality, I've decided to make a longer video to talk about my experience with asexuality and answer my most asked questions. So, I'm asked a lot, asexual, what is that? And no, I do not reproduce like mitosis in the scientific definition. Asexuality is a sexuality in the LGBTQIA community. At its core, it is a lack of sexual attraction. And there are many different asexual experiences. For example, I am asexual, sex negative, but that's not the case for all asexuals. Asexuals can be sex indifferent, they can be sex positive, or maybe even fit another label on the spectrum such as grey sexual or demisexual. Each person's experience is completely valid and unique to them. Now, my most asked question is,
what's QPR? What's QPR? QPR.
What's a QPR? QPR stands for Queer Platonic Relationship. It is where the lines between traditional relationships and friendship are blurred. Most common in the asexual community, but not exclusive to the asexual community. Every couple's QPR is unique to them and unique to each other's own comfort levels. So, my experience with asexuality. I knew I was asexual at 14. Whilst my friends and peers started to get into relationships and talk about sexuality and explore their sexualities, I didn't want to. I was confused at the sudden change that as soon as we hit high school, everybody wanted to talk about either boys or girls or boys and girls or different kind of relationships of the sort. When people said phrases such as, "Oh wow, they're so hot," or "they're so attractive," really silly when I look at it now, but I genuinely thought that they were choosing to say that just to be cool as like a social thing. I had no idea that when somebody says, "Oh, that person's hot," or "I find them attractive," I had no idea that they literally found them bodily attractive. I didn't understand that other people had sexual attraction because I didn't have sexual attraction, so I just assumed everybody was the same, trying to be like the people on TV or trying to be cool. So after a lot of confusion, I did what every single LGBTQIA kid did, and I googled, "What sexuality am I?" online. Quiz. And that is where I stumbled across the label asexual. At 14, I didn't even know that was an option. I felt so much relief and validation and comfort in knowing that I don't have to be sexually attracted to people. Society and the media push the narrative so much that sex is a must, that you have to have sex, that you must be sexually attracted to someone. Everything that I discovered online about asexuality just felt so right and so much like I was understood. So the next step, of course, was coming out. Now, if you guys have been following me for a little while, you also know that I am autistic. So because of this, I had never really cared what people thought of me or felt the pressure to conform to society. So for me, coming out I didn't think was going to be a big deal. I decided to just start telling people that I am asexual because I was, and that was a fact, and I did not see the danger in that. After proudly announcing that I am an asexual person, I was met with a lot of ace-phobia, especially from people who were older than me, and a lot of the same response of, "That isn't real." And because I was 14 and I didn't have the self-love and the self-confidence that I've grown into now to accept myself, and between the severe bullying at school and the mass amount of abuse at home, I just thought, well, and crammed it into the back of my head, squishing it down where it never gets looked at again until another 4 years later. Squashing it into the pit at the back of my mind was a huge mistake, and if I could go back again, I wouldn't have done it. It would have saved me a lot of emotional trauma, struggle, and grief if I had just accepted myself to begin with. Because by the time I was 18, I still didn't feel sexual attraction. I had to face myself and finally acknowledge that, you know what, I am asexual and that is okay. And when I tell you, everything from then on was a lot easier in that aspect of my life, which just goes to show that you are not too young to know your identity. My advice to any young asexual people out there is to fully love and accept yourself before you go announcing it to the world. Make sure you are comfortable in your own skin before you kind of let everybody else have an opinion on who you are. And this is extremely important, but set clear boundaries. Boundaries are there to protect us. Doing things for other people while sacrificing who you are and your own comfortability will only give you emotional trauma, and yucky people out there will try to take advantage of nice people. So never settle for less. You are way too valid and important for that. Stay safe out there, guys. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want more content like this, and I'll see you guys shortly.